Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between MillStephano and GreatMista. Mista is the blue Protoss player in the top left and Stephano is the red Zerg in the bottom right. Obviously Stephano is very well known, he's probably the best foreign Zerg player in the world at the moment, and this is just a ladder game, and well, should be brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it. It's on Shakura's plateau, so what has that got in store for us? Well, most likely we will see Mr. take a very fast expansion. He'll put a pylon down here because this ramp is so easy to hold. All you Protoss players out there, if you get Shakura's plateau, just fast expand. It's so safe to do so, it's crazy. Now Stephano on the other hand, he's going to try and take his natural pretty quick. He will get a pull first, just to be on the safe side, but once that's up or about to be complete, he'll take his natural, and then he'll be aiming to take this third relatively quickly. And by relatively quickly, I mean about 4 to 5 minutes, ideally aiming for 4 minutes 20, because that is the money spot. Now the reason Stephano gets that pull up first is just to be on the safe side from any cannons or pylon blocks, or basically just to get map control and scouting as well. There's a lot of benefit to it, and economically it's not too bad because you get the queen out quicker, which means you just get that inject quicker and the added production. So, well, this is, well, hopefully going to be a really good game. I'll take this time to say, if you do like the cast, give it a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, which is down in this region, and also, well, leave any comments, criticisms or anything on the video, and obviously subscribe because that would be awesome. So what is Mr. going to be doing? Well, he's probably going to try and block this hatchery for as long as possible with the probe. He may commit to getting a pylon down, he may not, it all depends, although Stephano just actually knocking that probe way out there, and he is going to go for it, and he does manage to get it down. So that is quite a big win straight away for Stephano. Meanwhile, we will see Mr. He's gone for this Nexus first build, and to be fair, it's a little bit risky, but judging by what that probe scouted, he saw the timing of that spawning pool, he knows he is completely safe to do so. He throws down that forge straight away after, and by getting the Nexus first, it just gets out a little bit earlier, which ultimately means he'll stay equal in income with Stephano for that little bit longer. Going into the mid game and late game, it will really pay off having that extra economy. So, meanwhile, this probe is just poking around. It's staying in very ominous places. I should point out that this game did occur before the basically patch. Well, it wasn't even a patch, it was just some minor tweaks to balance. Overlords got faster, Queens got 5 range, and also Protoss got Observers built 10 seconds faster. So that hasn't occurred yet. So slow Observers, slow Overlords, and tiny range Queens, which still have their nice little Talon attack as opposed to that little spear. So this is all going pretty standard at the moment, not much is going on. This Zergling is just carefully poking around, making sure there's no cannons, because obviously the threat of taking this base is you can get cannon very easily, but there Stephano goes with it down at about 4 minutes 20, which is exactly when he wants to be getting it. This Zergling just staying outside the front of Mr.'s base, seeing exactly when things occur, are there any units coming out, or basically what's going on. He's taking a look at what's at the front. Chrono boosts are being spent on the Nexus and Pro production, so again, Mr. clearly really wants to get into that good economical position. And finally we will see this probe is going to come down, but it will get spotted, and the Zergling just is like, no, you are not doing anything on my third base, because ultimately Stephano's entire mid and late game is essentially reliant on this third base getting up, otherwise he will be so far economically behind Mr. that he just won't be able to cope. Now, what are we likely to see? Stephano will probably start taking gas in a minute or two. There's no rush, because if you take the gas, yes, you do get tech slightly quicker, but it also means you have less minerals to spend on drones and queens. And drones and queens early on pay off in the mid and late game, and because of the build Mister's going for, Stephano can afford to just drone. And at the moment, if we take a look, we will see the worker count is pretty much equal. That will start going very much in Stephano's favour from now, because he's got his third base up, and with that third queen about to come in with that much production, he will be absolutely fine to take the lead in terms of production. The 2 gas have been taken now by Stephano. He's just transferring some drones into there now, and this is all very standard timing. Of course, one thing Mr. has got to be careful of, getting that robotics facility out, one thing he does need to watch out for is, of course, that Stephano has a build against Protoss, which is the 12-minute max, which a lot of Protoss players do struggle with, because it's just a huge amount of Roach and Zergling pressure hitting your front door very, very early on. The one saving grace is on this map, pushing up on this ramp can be extremely difficult, because, as I've said at the very, very start, this is a very, very narrow ramp, and it can be a nightmare for Zerg to deal with. So, +1 is about 2/3 done for Mr. And Roach Warren and Evo just on its way out now, as is Lair. So this Roach Warren and Evo you get at the same time. Roach 1 just gets you roaches out to deal with gateway pressure. The Evo allows earlier upgrades, also spores if there's any air coming in, because of course at the moment Stephano, if we take a look at his vision, he has no clue about what's going on. Literally anything could be happening, but these stalkers are what are happening at the moment, and really there's a small little flood of Zerglings coming in, and they will happily be able to deal with those stalkers, especially with this good creep spread. It's essential Stephano joins up these two bases as soon as he possibly can, and as these stalkers will take some hits, they don't want to get surrounded. That would be a big loss, and the Zerglings just wisely staying on the creep as long as they can. And really, now Stephano's in the money spot. He's got good defense, he's dealt with the early pressure, but what he has got to be careful of is this Warp Prism that's just popped. There's also a Robotics Bay coming out, so really fast Colossi, also a Twilight Cancel, so we'll probably see Blink, 2 more Warp Gates coming, and that'll bring you up to 3. And really that Warp Prism could do quite a bit, because currently Stephano has very few units on the field. He is starting to ramp up some more production. 20 Zerglings are about to pop out, and Zergling speed will finish soon. Roach speed also on the way, because of course that Lair's done. The macro hatch for Stephano's on its way out, and this is all getting into that kind of quite worrying phase for Mr. Is Stephano's really reaching his stride. He's at 55 drones, he's going to aim to target about 74, is the absolute optimum on 3 bases, so 74 drones is where he's going to want to get to, and once he reaches there it will just be a flood of units, and really Mr. is going to have problems, especially if he doesn't have really good tech upgrades. But he has got +1 finished already. He's got +1 ground armor on the way as well now. We will see a drop coming in down here for Mr. But Stephano, he has seen it, and that is, well, that is incredible reaction speed by Stephano there. He's pulling back all of his army, which is very much out of position. Some Zerglings will get taken out, but currently no drones have been killed. The Queen is going to survive, and those Zealots were lifted up. If we take a look, no workers were killed at all there by Mr. So that was good defense of the drop by Stephano, just a little bit of lost mining time and a few Zerglings lost, which ultimately don't matter at all in the grand scheme of things. That second forge kicking in now for Mr. Where is it? Up here. Getting chrono boosted +2. The first Colossi is on the field now, and that is a very early time for the first Colossi to hit, but ultimately this should be not too much of a threat to Stephano at the moment. He's just got enough stuff. This Warp Prism still floating around, but if we take a look at the work count, 61 to 54, Stephano's still just droning up. He's going to reach that optimum soon. He's got that Infestation Pit nearly finished. He's got his own second Evo coming up. He's got the +1 carapace, +1 melee is already finished, so there'll be 1/1 upgrades for the Zerglings. 2/2 are on the way though for Mr. So +2 melee now just starting out for Stephano, who is of course famous for his Infester Zergling play with very heavily upgraded Zerglings and Infestors, and it works really well against Protoss. Now this Warp Prism isn't going to be able to do much, it's just kiting around. The watchtowers, one watchtower being held by Stephano there, but the Colossi count is, well, in constant production. A second Colossi comes straight out, and really if that keeps up, Stephano could get some problems, because once Colossi reach critical mass, they melt through roaches and Zerglings like they're not even there, and currently Stephano has no Spire or anything, or any sign of getting Spire anytime soon, which of course is a big problem, because you need Corruptors to deal with those Colossi. The Overlords will scout the Warp Prism there, and we'll probably see this Spore Crawler move over. There we go, and that is just all pretty much standard play, because Stephano doesn't want to drop going off, because this drop play is incredibly annoying. It's forcing him to keep his army back. Stephano taking a 4th base behind all of this though, so that will put him 2 bases up on Mr., which of course is a very good position to be in. That Warp Prism absolutely fine though, they're quite durable and sturdy. +2 ground attack just finished now for Mr., or just about to. +2 ground armor is about 2/3 done, +3 ground weapons on the way for Mr. now as well. He's getting up quite a nice sizable force. He's got 3 Colossi out, the 4th one on the way. And once you really hit 4 Colossi, it becomes very difficult to Zerg to deal with. Stephano has got his Spire coming out. Where exactly is that being thrown down? If we take a look around, we will see that Spire coming out, and really he needs that out ASAP now, because really those Colossi numbers are getting higher, and this is just great work by Mr. in denying Stephano the scouting he needs. How many gateways has Mr. even on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gateways and a robo. and that's just going to make a very, very scary army very, very fast. And it does look like Mister's preparing to move out here. And there goes the 4th Colossi and rallied up into the main base. Hopefully we'll join the rest of the force. There we go. It was a bit slow. That Colossi is like, I've just arrived. What's going on? Someone tell me what to do. And really, he has been told what to do. And Stephano, he's now got problems. He's trying to build some spines out ASAP. But they're not going to get done in time. This War Prism, great use extending the use of it by using it to power 4 war pins close to Stephano, and that resupply is going to get really, really helpful. Now, we will see a bit of engagement coming off. A big fungal growth goes off on most of Mister's army, but I'm just worried Stephano doesn't have enough stuff at the moment. He is maxed out, but here we go. A big engagement. The force fields are brilliant, though, by Mister at the moment. Some big fungal growths go off, but most importantly, those Colossi are not falling at all, and they are just shredding all of Stephano's army. Yes, some big losses being taken on both sides, but Mister definitely coming out on top just by keeping those Colossi alive. And now Stephano is in huge, huge problems. His Spire is done, but Corruptors won't be out in time. And yes, he does have a lot of Infestors, which are getting brilliant fungal growths, but Infestors alone, they're just not going to be able to deal with this. And now the Queen's diligently injecting hatcheries, which are no doubt going to die. And I can't help but feel this is all over. Stephano's so far behind now in terms of army. Those 4 corrupt Colossi still up, and only roaches in production. The Infestors have all been taken out, and that is pretty much it. The drones are being called, and there is the Grat from Stephano. So Mister does take the game very, very impressively indeed, and that means Stephano is lost, which is a very, well, quite a rare occurrence, actually. So, what could Stephano have done differently? I reckon if he got his Spire out sooner, he possibly could have done with sacking an Overlord just to see what was coming. Then he could have prepared for it better. But he definitely needed those Corruptors out to deal with the Colossi. So, if you did enjoy this game, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Leave any comments, criticisms, love letters in the comments section. And also, follow me on Twitter, because ultimately then we can talk. It'll be fun. You can suggest games you want me to cast or anything like that, and it's just generally brilliant. So do all those things, but most importantly, tune in again. And if you're around at 6:30 PM UK time on Wednesday evening, tune in to the DE Sports stream of the Antec Attack Tournament, because I cast that every Wednesday evening, and it's definitely worth checking out. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in again. Bye for now.